And Donald Trump has launched a fresh tirade against European nations for refusing to join the U.S. offensive against Iran. Now, Trump, in fact, told allies to go get their own oil, saying that it is not America's job to secure the Strait of Hormuz. Donald Trump claimed that the U.S. offensive could, of course, conclude within 2 to 3 weeks and has warned that he will not have anything to do with the waterway's future.
I think that the people understand it. We'll be leaving very soon. And if France or some other country wants to get oil or gas, they'll go up through the Strait and Hormuz Strait. They'll go right up there and they'll be able to fend for themselves. I think it'll be very safe, actually, but we have nothing to do with that.
And earlier on Truth Social, Trump had told governments had worried about the fuel prices to go get their own oil by force, and this outburst followed proactive pushback from Europe. Now, France had blocked Israeli planes carrying weapons from its airspace. Italy denied last-minute landing rights to U.S. bombers in Sicily, and Spain has barred the U.S. from using its bases and airspace. While the UK allows the use of its bases for a war on its own government deems to be illegal, it still has faced Trump's public admonishment. Now, Trump, in fact, suggested the United Kingdom and others should build up some delayed courage and take control of the straits themselves. The U.S. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, echoed this questioning as to why the big bad Royal Navy was not stepping up to help out the Americans.
Last time I checked, there was supposed to be a big bad Royal Navy that could be prepared to do things like that as well. So he's pointing out this is an international waterway that we use less than most, in fact, dramatically less than most. So the world ought to pay attention and be prepared to stand up. President Trump's been willing to do the heavy lifting on behalf of the free world to address this threat of Iran. It's not just our problem set going forward, even though we have done the lion's share of preparation to ensure that that strait will be open, which is an outcome the president's been very clear on.
And the United Kingdom is sending extra troops and more air defense systems to the region for defensive action on a trip to the Gulf. Nation's Defense Secretary John Healey said that extra air defense systems will be deployed to Saudi Arabia, Bahrain and Kuwait, while the use of Typhoon jets in Qatar will be extended. This will raise the number of UK personnel involved in the defense of the Gulf and Cyprus to around 1,000. Meanwhile, the economic fallout of war is intensifying. The Irish leader Michael Martin has described the resulting oil supply shock as probably the worst ever. With US gas prices now exceeding $4 a gallon, Trump is facing a domestic discontentment over this month-long conflict. From the Vatican, the Pope has also expressed hope for an end to the violence by Easter weekend. In an unusual direct appeal, he's urged President Donald Trump to look for an off-ramp to end this war.
So I would certainly continue to give this call to all leaders of the world to say, come back to the table for dialogue. Let's look for solutions to problems. Let's look for ways to reduce the amount of violence that we're promoting. And the peace, especially at Easter, might bring that.
Now, earlier during his Palm Sunday address, the pontiff had remarked that God ignores the prayers of leaders with hands full of blood, a statement widely seen as a rebuke of Donald Trump and his war on West Asia.